What's up YouTube? Robbie Vapes back again, and yes, if you're wondering if by some chance you just caught my Freak Show Mini review, or the revised review, or the re-review if you want to call it that. Yes, this is only a few minutes after I finished recording this guy. This was a Freak Show Mini. I made a revised video. If you haven't seen it, please check it out because it is night and day from my first one. I've learned how to build in it and now I love it. This thing is unbelievable. Watch this. So good. So good. Anyways, today's video is not about the Freak Show Mini. Actually, technically it was because I just did a review on it like 5 minutes ago. But the point is, today, as in when I actually post this, it's about this little guy. That's right, this little guy. Yes, it's a clone. Yes, I actually had a chance to purchase the Authentic a couple weeks ago. Yes, I kicked myself in the ass for not purchasing it because I should have. But it was out of my budget, and honestly, I couldn't spend the $95 on this RDA. So if you haven't guessed yet, the RDA in question that we're going to talk about in this video is actually something kind of cool. If I can get it out of this shitty packaging. I'm not even going to really do a true unboxing for this because, I mean, you get a shitty little clone packaging here. But it's not about the packaging in these videos. I've said that before. I don't care how things are packaged. I just care of how the RDA works. So we'll toss it off to the side. But yes, we are reviewing this guy. Now, of course, we'll do an up-close and personal section with this. And we'll get to see it in its full glory. But this, if you don't know what it is, from seeing it right here, is the Aeolus. I think that's how you say it. I hope that's how you say it. I actually had, like I said, I had a chance to buy this thing when I was down in Lethbridge a few weeks back. I didn't, and the entire way home I kicked myself. I wish I had, even though it would have put me way over budget at the time. I really wanted to buy this thing, and it just so happens one of the stores here in Calgary, Digital Imports, they actually had them in stock, and I couldn't help but go over there and pick one up because I mean, for 30 bucks for a clone of, you know, one of, in my opinion, one of the most unique RDAs out there, it was a no-brainer. But again, that's just me. I don't know. Anyways, with that being said, let's get down and dirty with this thing. Let's find out why I'm so hyped about it, why I'm so excited to vape on this thing, and what makes it so unique from all the other RDAs I've already reviewed. So with that in mind, let's go up close and let's find out what it looks like. Alright guys, we're down and dirty with this thing. Let's check out what the box looks like. Let's keep in mind this is a clone. We have the atomizer, pretty much a bunch of vape around here on the cover here. This is the Aeolus RDA in black, and this is the name of the company or the name of the store I purchased it at, Digital Imports. They do have a website, as you can see, digitalimports.ca. I recommend checking them out. I did purchase with my own money. This was not given to me. This is not something that, you know, I received. This is something I went out and purchased because I was super excited about it. Now, I actually watched Grim Green's video on this, and I was really stoked on it, and I actually watched Grim Green's video after I had the opportunity to purchase the original, the Authentic, down in Lethbridge, but for some reason, did not. Now, after watching Grim Green's video, I had some hesitations at first. Seeing his video, I was super stoked to see how it looked and how it vaped, so that's why I'm so excited to start vaping this thing. Anyways, what do you get in the packaging? Well, you get some silica because, you know, what would an RDA be without silica, right? You get these really shitty-ass coils that were built that I probably ruined myself, so I shouldn't be saying much. You do get a blue screwdriver, and it is a star screwdriver, as you can see. So, that's what you get in the packaging. Let's just throw that aside, and let's check out the RDA. So, here's the RDA. You have a copper pin connection. Down here, it is adjustable. And what is this here? Is this how deep the deck is? No, it's actually heat vents. And these can be removed. So it can be put on as a normal RDA with another copper connection, I believe. Actually, that looks more like brass, but I could be wrong. It's copper or brass, one of the two. Anyways, and you have the RDA itself right here. So this is the actual RDA. These are the heat vents. The heat vents, the one thing I did kind of like about this is if you have a hybrid mod, now I'm not saying to go out and do this, but I'm saying that it does kind of act as the top cap to the mod, where you now have kind of a bit of a safety feature there. But again, don't do anything you're not comfortable with, and make sure that you always check your coils on an ohm reader before you put it on a mod, just to be safe. So again, there's the heat vents down there. We'll put that off to the side, and let's check out the RDA itself as I grab my ohm reader to put it down for leverage. So we'll just screw that on here. If I can get this on, there we go. Now you see here, there's the name of the RDA. It's an Aeolus, and this is actually where the airflow comes from, the top, which is something that scared me originally because I wasn't sure how hot it would vape, seeing as that the air holes are at the top instead of along the side. But according to Grim Green, it actually vapes really well, and you know, I'm kind of excited to try it out. So I'm pretty stoked on it, and I'm curious to see if it actually is a cooler vape. He did say to build a little lower or a little higher for this one, just so it's not too hot, and you don't end up burning yourself or anything like that. So we'll get to that part in a second. Let's focus on this. Here we have the airflow, and let's see if I can't take this off. Everything's got O-rings in it, so it's all nice and tight here, so you don't have to worry too much. You have the barrel right here, and you have the actual top cap itself. I believe it's 510 connected. Let's just check. I have my drip tip right here. This is the 2 puffs drip tip, and it is 510 connected. Here you have the airflow. You have the 3 holes down there, and they connect up to here. I thought it was adjustable, but I'm not really seeing it. So maybe it's not adjustable on the clone. I think on the original, you had like some little stoppers or something you can use to block it off, I think, but I could be wrong. And again, I'll play around with it for a week to give you a true idea of how it vapes. But yeah, so that's the top cap there, 510 connection down there, and the airflow comes up through there. So we'll put that off to the side, and let's look at the deck here. Double O-ring down here for a nice tight fit, and you do have a fairly deep juice well. It's not super deep. I've seen deeper, that's for sure. I wouldn't really consider that shallow, but I kind of consider it somewhere in between. Here, of course, you have your star screw heads, and you have the holes in this post right here. Now, the first thing I'm noticing is how small that center post hole is. It may actually need to be drilled out, to be honest. It's a little small to have dual 24 gauge in there, which is a little bit scary. There's also appears to be a little bit of a little piece of rubber coming off the O-ring. I've had that before in clone, so it's not a huge deal. But yeah, and you also have a center post that looks to be, I think on the original it's ceramic, that it holds it in there, which is supposed to make it heat resistant, I believe. And this I don't think is ceramic, but it might be actually. I don't think it's plastic either, which holds the center post in place as well. And of course, this is not only to lower the heat resistance, it's also to make sure that it stays in place when tightening and loosening the screws. Now, first thing, I am noticing it's actually seems to be a decent thread. I'm not going to screw it out completely on here, but you can see here. So again, my only concern so far going into my endeavors with this before I close this off is that center post hole is a little small. If that's the only downside, and if I can fit do a dual coil on here with no problem with 24 gauge, then I will let you know. But if there are issues, I'll let you know as well. So again, this is a clone, so I think, actually, I saw the original, and I'm pretty sure that the original was not this small. And I'll try and get a close-up to this, if I can get that out of the way. So you can kind of see the center hole. It's pretty small. I don't know how the actual size, but it is pretty small. Anyway, so with that being said, I will go back up top and come back in probably about a week or so and let you know my final thoughts after I've had a chance to vape on this. All right, YouTube, we're back up top with the Aeolus. This thing is awesome. It's been about 6 days since I started using it, and I have to say I'm really impressed with it. It surprised me at how well it handles different builds. The center post, which I had a bit of an issue with being a little bit small, I can fit a dual coil in there with 24 gauge Canthal, so it seems to work okay. Not a huge issue, not as much of an issue as I thought. It's a little tight, but it's not too bad. Overall, like I said, really good. We'll get into the pros and cons here real quick, but before we do, big shout out to the Calgary Flames for winning last night. That's right, they took the first game in the series against Vancouver. Sorry, any Vancouver fans, I apologize, but the Flames did win last night. Really good game. If you didn't catch it, you missed a really good game. The goalie was phenomenal. Hiller was just outstanding, but I digress. Let's get back into vaping. So again, the Aeolus here. The only cons I can really think of is the heat sink vents right down here that I talked about before. I'm actually not a huge fan of. I don't use it a lot. It works okay with it on, but I find you get a better connection when it's directly connected to the RDA itself without these heat vents. So I put it on for that first puff, but I'm going to take it off and take another hit off here just so you can see what I'm talking about. So we'll unscrew the RDA here. Screws off really nicely, screws in really nicely, no issues there. Just a matter of it kind of gets in the way, and I find you do get a better connection with directly connecting the RDA to the device, but that's just me. And keep in mind this is a clone, so maybe there's different results with the authentic, but with the clone, you know, you get, I don't know, a heat vent that tends to have a little bit of voltage drop on it. No big deal, but that's what you get. This is probably my 10th build in here. This is probably the one I like most. It's a 7 wrap 24 gauge Canthal, works out to 0.3 ohms. Perfect temperature, perfect flavor. It works really well. I'm trying to think if there's any other cons. I mean, the heat sinks or the heat vents aren't really a huge con. I mean, a little bit of voltage drop, sure, but at the same time, really, it's not a huge deal. And apart from that, I can't think of anything else, but I'm going to take another hit off this. This is with the direct connection from the RDA to the device. We'll take a hit, and I'll show you what it looks like. Really good flavor in this thing. It's not super hot. I'm vaping it at about 47 watts, 4 volts. 0.3 ohm coil, like I said. It works really well. As far as pros go, the flavor is outstanding. Probably one of the best flavors I've had from an RDA to date. And that even includes Freak Show Mini. It's powerful. And with the right build in here, you're really going to taste that flavor. The airflow, it's a little tighter, but it works for this device because it's a little bit of a tighter airflow. You don't really feel it being tighter, but it is a bit tighter. And as a result, you do get that better flavor out of it. Overall, I mean, great build quality, especially for a clone. It was built really well. After using this for, I guess, like I said, it's been 6 days, I kind of want to go out and get the authentic. But at the same time, I don't. I do because this thing works so well. I kind of want to see how the authentic works. But I don't because this thing works so well. I don't really need to get the authentic because of this one working so well. So it's one of those things where on one hand I want the authentic, on the other hand I don't really need it. So we'll see what happens, but overall really pleased with this device. And I guess basically what my recommendations are. Do I recommend this? Absolutely. This is a phenomenal RDA. It's pretty unique in how it works. It seems to work well for me. I've had no issues with it. It's fun to build on. If you're into like really low gauge wires or Canthal, you know, it's not going to work for dual coil because that small middle post. But if you're okay with 24 gauge or above and you're not doing any twisted wraps or anything like that, you're going to be fine with this thing. It's going to produce flavor. It's like not really a cloud chaser, but it produces enough clouds to satisfy me. So I'm happy with that. You know, overall, like I said, my usual comparison. What would I rather have? I think this was 35 bucks or 30 bucks or whatever it was. Would I rather have that or would I rather have this device? In this case, I want this RDA all day long. This thing is phenomenal. It's better flavor than the Magnus tanks, better flavor than any of the sub-ohm tanks I've tried, and that's saying something. It's better flavor than the Freak Show Mini, and that's saying something. It's just really good. I don't know why it vapes so well, but it really does. So with that being said, my overall recommendations, absolutely, I love this thing. It's a great clone. I'm assuming the authentic is the same. Obviously, I can't speak on it too much, but from what I've read and what I've seen from reviews, a lot of people are liking this, and I can see why. So that pretty much does it for this video. I wanted to keep this end section short, didn't want to overflow with too much information. I guess one other thing I'll say is that I just hit my 99th subscriber about 5 minutes before recording this video, which is awesome. Thank you very much. Huge shout out to all you guys for watching. I will be doing the 100 subscriber giveaway here shortly. Hopefully, assuming I get that last subscriber I need, probably this weekend is when I'll release a video for it. I'm a little busy tomorrow and Saturday, but hopefully I'll get it up for Sunday if I do hit that 100 subscriber mark. And of course, you know, can't say enough good things about this. Really appreciate it. And this is an awesome tank. So with that being said, YouTube, until next time, happy vaping.